Hi Sean, good to see you. You haven't got a piece of paper in your hand. Does that mean things are looking quite positive on the injury front? Should we start with that then, squad fitness?
Yeah, it's looking better. Woody's still recovering on the grass at the moment. He's not with us yet, but he's still recovering. Ola's kind of halfway through his progress into fitness. Training more regularly with the team now, so that's good. But obviously it's been a long-term injury, so we have to be careful with that one. I think pretty much everyone is back on the grass. I mean, there's pure match fitness that I talk about, total match fitness, which, you know, we can only play so many games and obviously B-team games and stuff like that. But they're getting there. So there's certainly a good training group now and a lot of demand within that training group, which is good.
And Douglas always looks a lot better as well?
Yeah, he's had a few days training. He's trained hard today. As of all the players today, it's been a tough day for him today.
Well, it was a fantastic win against Spurs. It was third clean sheet in 5. It takes you 5 points clear of the relegation zone. How pleased were you with the character that your side showed, particularly the centre forwards?
Yeah, really pleased. I was pleased with everything. I mean, I think afterwards I mentioned it was the most complete performance I've seen from this group, that's for sure. That probably one of the more so in my career. I thought, you know, every part of the game that you have to work in, without the ball, with the ball, and the bit in between when it's a fight scene, you know, to be competitive. And I was super pleased with that and pleased with the players and how they delivered as I call it, the framework of the team while still having the freedom to go and play. So, yeah, really pleased over all that. Obviously, it remains a work in progress. You know, the idea is to bring consistency to them performances, and I think everyone's looking for that. But very pleased on the day, without a doubt.
It marks a 6th win out of 8 across all competitions. It's a bit of a stark contrast in comparison to when you came in October, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're in a tough spell, but that can happen. You know, I only came in to work how I work with my staff. Never questioned other managers. You know, it can happen. A run of bad results can happen in this division. You know, I've been in it long enough, and it creeps up on you, and you might have an unlucky one, and when we have a down day, and the other team play very well, and all of a sudden you're looking and thinking, goodness me, that's a bad run all of a sudden. Equally, you can do that the other way, and especially where I do think we've got a talented side here. You can put wins together, you know, and go on a decent run. And I think we're in that zone now where, you know, the way the team are operating, the way that the players are getting fitter and stronger and coming out of injury, it gives us that more competitive edge. And they're certainly showing in performances. You know, I was pleased with the performance with a different group in Europe, and then I was pleased with the performance, obviously, against Tottenham. So good signs of the squad mentality, not just, you know, the 11 we put out there, the whole squad, because everyone's going to be needed.
A couple of players away now for AFCON duties, Bolly and Ibrahim Sangare as well, particularly in Ibrahim, who has really showed and come into his form this season. How much is his impact going to be missed as well?
Yeah, we've enjoyed him since we've been here. You know, I think he's enjoyed it as well, you know, and I think he's shown that through his football. I think, you know, when we saw him, I think it was played out in Sturm, and he was terrific, and that really got him in the side. And then, you know, he's had a couple of quieter ones, but that can happen. But generally, he's done very, very well, and you know, was very good against a Spurs side, and a fine goal as well to finish up to cap that performance, I should say. And yeah, he's gone away, but we've got other very good players here. And there's a lot of competition for places once everyone's fit, and they're getting fitter now as we started with.
Well, it's 3 games in 9 days across the festive period, a busy time as well across all clubs. But you're dealing with those injuries and players getting fitter, along with a couple of players on AFCON as well. How much of a challenge is that still in the back of your mind, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been saying it for years, but it certainly is the case this time round at Nottingham Forest. And it is one game at a time mentality for me generally. That's the way I work. And I think the next one's the most important one. I think we've had to do some form of planning because of the game schedule that we've had here. So we have had to look at it slightly differently, but generally the next one's the most important one. I stand by that. So, you know, we're looking forward to going down to Fulham. Another tough game, they all are. So, yeah, we've got to be right for that one, and that's certainly what we're planning towards at the moment.
Well, let's talk about that next game. It's Fulham on Monday night, 2 points between you. Fairly similar form. They've got a fairly positive home record as well. What sort of game are you expecting on Monday?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they had a tough result in the end last night, you know, against Newcastle, but the manager had spoken, they're missing some key players who've gone at themselves as well. We'll see, but yeah, I mean, they had a quieter start to the beginning of the season than they had done previously, but they're still a good outfit and a manager who knows his way around the division now. So, you know, yet again, another tough Premier League game. But like I said, they all are. I mention it to the players all the time. There's no easy games in the Premier League. And I remarked about, you know, Arsenal playing Wolves, and everyone thought it was just going to be a steamroller situation. It's not that easy. And they'll know that. The manager and Arteta will know that. It's not that easy to just run over teams. The Premier League's a very, very unforgiving league, and you've got to be right all the time. So, yes, we're aware of the opposition, but we also focus on ourselves and do a lot of work on ourselves and what we can perform like. And as you started with or mentioned earlier, so far so good, but it's just so far. There's a lot of work to be done, and I keep reminding the players of that. And
in terms of the work that Marco Silva's doing at Fulham, he's implemented quite a few changes this season. What are some of those threats that you can target on Monday?
Well, it's not about them. Certainly not going to give me what we're going to target, that's for sure. But no, we've got an idea of how they play. Like anything, you've got to perform well. We've found ways that we can operate that we think can be effective against good sides, and we've shown that certainly in the Spurs game. And they may have had a quieter performance, but you've still got to take advantage of that. And I thought we did. And other games that since we've been here, so we know we've got to play well. That's for sure. But we'll be working with the team to open up them the best we can, and of course defend well against them.
All the best for Monday, and have a good Christmas as
well.
Thank
you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Amber. Ivan, for the LP.
Sounds like you've been the Grinch with the players this morning, Sean.
Does it? Well, I'm renowned for being the Grinch at this time of year. Christmas comes and goes pretty quickly in my life, as you can imagine, with being in football since I was 16. It's one of the downsides of the job. It's a working period, as it always has been for me.
So, one of the quotes I saw the other day was, run, run and run again. If it was all so simple, we'd all be doing it. There must be more complexity behind it.
That was a twist on Morgan's first interview, actually. He'd said that, so I was just playing around with it. But, I mean, it's a prerequisite of the game. I know the stats and the facts of the Premier League. We all see them. I said when I got in there, I wanted to know how I think they should be fit. It's no question of any other manager. Any of the managers, they all have their own ways.
What does that mean in terms of you, then? What is your fitness standard?
Well, it means that it's quite high, I would suggest. And they've got to be prepped, ready to play how I want them to play. And I think there's been some good signs of that since we've been here. We've been unfortunate with injury and haven't had a pre-season, which is one of them things. But so we've had to edge it forwards, and I think the players have been very good with taking their responsibility on that and accepting the workload, and they've done very well with it so far.
What have your experiences been against Marco Silva as a coach, head-to-head?
I can't remember. I don't keep my stats. I like stats about teams and the teams I work with, but I don't keep my own stats. I'm not too worried about that one.
But when you go head-to-head with all the coaches, they have their own approach. You must know his style and what you can expect from his teams now.
Yeah, it's not as easy as that when you change players. It's not just coaches. Coaches adapt to the players they've got usually, or certainly I try and adapt to the players I've got. So every year if you bring in different players, you adapt differently. But yeah, I mean, we want to take on the game. I know roughly what they do, and they'll know roughly what we do. It still comes down to performing on the day.
Quite a long wait for the game Monday night. You see everybody else play. What's that like for you on those weekends? Do you have a view on?
To be honest, since we've been here, all we've been doing is playing. So it's been. I think it's a good change for the players to have a few extra days this week to recover and as we suggested earlier, players coming out of injury have got more training days. We've done some work today. It was a pretty hard day today, and then there'll be recovery tomorrow, and then we build into the game. So, yeah, I think it's a good break this time round for the players, just because of the travelling, the game schedule, and as it keeps unfolding. So, I think it's a good one come for us this time.
And it's a time for reflection as you reflect on your personal 2025. Have you got a moment that sticks out to you?
No, not really. Just get on with it.
The day you walked through the doors here, maybe?
Yeah, but that's a different kind of moment. That's a personal thing, but that's not a moment, I'm walking into a job. It's still a job. It's closer to me for obvious reasons I've spoken about many times, but it's still a job. But no, I mean, that's a big thing, but the first win's a big thing. Porto was a big thing, and in Portman, I said I'd keep that one. I said the fans can have all the others, but I'll keep that one. There's lots of different markers in any season, I did, on the other hand, come out of a job in 25, and that's not a pleasing thing. But it's given me the opportunity to have this job, so it's a sliding doors of football, I suppose.
It's ending rather better than it started then, that's fair to say.
Sorry?
It's the year is ending for you rather better than it started, that's fair to say, isn't it?
Look, I mean, you say that, but I've done a lot of work. I was quite pleased with the work I was doing at that club, and now I've got this club, and this one is obviously, as I've spoken openly about, it's more important to me for the obvious reason, my past. I've enjoyed every minute of it so far, and I want to continue doing that. The best way of doing that is continue what we're doing on the pitch, and that's playing well and trying to work hard for wins.
Grinch or not, happy Christmas.
Thank you. Happy Christmas to you all. There you go. Look, a shining light of Christmas myself.
Owen for the BBC.
Hi, Sean.
Hiya.
when you've lost here, we've seen you bounce back instantly in the next game. How important is that mentally? Is it something you think about, or is it just the next game, got to win it?
No, you can't plan it as simple as that. This would all, just bounce out of every performance that doesn't go as well and have a good one. Players deserve a lot of credit for that. I think my staff do too. We try and be consistent as people, not just the way that we work. I don't treat the players hardly differently at all. I don't feel, whether it's win, lose or draw. Try and be consistent in the way I conduct myself, and then hopefully they respect that, and my staff too. And I think we try and keep a level view of what's going on until the end of the season. Then we'll decide where we are from the obvious, the league table. But the middle bit of the season, during the season, is for me is keeping I can't ask the players for consistent behaviours if I'm not consistent myself, in my opinion. So I try and do that. And if they see me being consistent in the way I am and the way I conduct myself and the way we coach and manage, then I think I can ask them to be consistent. I think that's a fair deal, and I think they're buying into that.
You've been out and about in the community a bit over the last couple of days. What's that been like, meeting a few more Forest fans than usual? Yeah,
we're up at the hospital yesterday, which is good, because obviously that's an awful time for people at this time of year, especially with the kids who were in the kids' wards. We've got the kids' Christmas party today. That'll be interesting, it always is. Sweets everywhere, getting pinged everywhere, and a bit of fun with them. So, but there's a lot of, I'm learning obviously here, so I don't want to make out it's all me. There's been amazing work done here, and I'm learning about some of it, and especially around this time of the year, of course. I know there's ongoing projects during the year as well, but I think at this time of the year, it's one of them feel-good factors. The club are going and doing so much in the community, so I think it's a brilliant thing.